beautiful greenery, because maybe that will help you to add up to your most amazing day today. And I had some folks on before, so I hope they come back. But if they don't, I'm sure somebody else will pop back in who needs to get the message. So the one tip I wanted to share, like I mentioned before, is lighten your load. And I literally showed you during my walk today, I went back and took some things off. I put my book bag down. I put the other bag I was carrying around down because I didn't want to come on and I didn't want to communicate with a whole bunch of heaviness on me, regardless if it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual. The key is, as a leader, you gotta be aware of regulating your own energy and understanding when you feel heavy and when it is time to lighten. So I wanted to show you guys something that's super cool, and I'm hoping I get to do this summer. Shout out to one of the Masses crew when they came into the city and we did a city bike ride. I'm passing another one of the city bike ride stations and it reminded me of you guys. We had took the city bike ride around Central Park and it was so much fun. So passing it, and I just thought about you guys. So if you catch this, just know I remember we created some magical moments that are memorable. So I guess that's the second tip, right? A nice communication skill for my leaders out there that are creating events and experiences. Create things that are memorable, right? That's something that later on in life you can look back and say, oh my goodness, I remember that. I remember how that made me feel. I remember how it made those that came feel. I've been so caught up with doing a lot of things, especially for Smart Fit Fam, a nonprofit organization. As we prepare for our next experience, this is going to be our graduation experience at the time of this recording. Look, guys, flowers. And as I prep for that, I think about how important, speaking of graduation, we got a graduation set up right here. Looks like a cool party setup. It is graduation season at the time of this recording. If you or anyone that you know is graduating class of 2026, throw their name out in the chat. Let's love on them. I'm going to love on them as I love on you. We can love on them together because graduating is not easy. So let me tell you what happened when I went into the stores recently. Like, I literally went in to buy some lunch, a salad. And as I walked in, the lady that was doing my membership card, I didn't have the membership card, so I gave them my ID, which had my speech language pathology license information on it. It's just a little card. And then she was like, well, how did you like speech pathology school? And I was like, it wasn't easy, but I completed it. And I remember she said, yeah, I did my bachelor's in communication, but I was kind of nervous going back to do my master's since I have kids. Now me, mama, who did my doctorate with a 3-month-old baby on my lap, right? And reminding myself how not easy it was. So I didn't tell her fakeness. I didn't tell her, go back and do it. It's going to be easy. But what I did tell her is it'll go by quicker than you even expected. And that's how I felt with my programs. It felt like it was hell in the middle of it. Like, it was so much work. I am not even going to lie and tell you speech pathology, audiology, they're both not easy fields. But I was determined to complete it because I'm that person. When I start something, I must complete it. And even when it gets difficult, I help to motivate my own self. And what I told myself was, this isn't going to last forever. Sooner or later, I'm going to finish. Now, it may not be sooner or it may not be later, but it will be completed. So I slowed down. Instead of trying to do everything in a fast pace, I slowed it down because I was taking classes as a mom. And you know how it is, taking graduate classes as a mom or as someone who has a caregiver. It is not easy. There goes another set of city bikes. So in that process, I told myself that I'm going to navigate this energy. I'm going to navigate this space. I'm going to navigate this time. and I'm going to slow it down. And that's where the lighten the load comes from. I try not to do too much at one time. And I just allowed myself to be present in taking the classes and being a student, even though I was also an adult that was working. So I shared that with her today because I thought it was kind of unique and spectacular that someone who was interested in the field that I'm in asked me, like, how did you do it? And I said, yeah, I just took my time. And I told myself that if I got in, when I got in, that I'm going to be grateful and I don't have to rush this process. Once I'm in, I can slow it down and I can just enjoy the process and just try and complete it. Because that's the hardest part about any program you do, even in communication sciences. You may start a program, you get super excited about it, and then it gets complicated and a lot of us stop. And I want to remind you, even as a leader, even as a person who's older, professional, whatever you start, finish. Hence the reason I celebrate my graduates, right? Because whether it's high school, it's college, whether it's your doctoral studies, you completed. So we want to celebrate you completing something you start, because not everybody completes. And if you're someone who didn't complete, encourage yourself and to get back in, get back on track. Take your time. Yeah, you can get some feels. Okay, that's life. I got some feels. There were moments when I didn't pass every single class, but I just went back in, dust myself back off, say, all right, like I do for Zachary in his driver's license test. Sometimes we just got to take it more than once. Not everything we're going to pass immediately. So that's my encouragement to my folks who started and didn't graduate as we celebrate those who did complete. Because we don't know everyone's journey and we don't know how long it may have taken them. We don't know the struggles they had to go through. There's so much beyond what we see. So when you see people graduate, know that there's a whole lot on the other side of that graduation. That's a lot of reason why we give so much respect to people who have graduated and completed programs, because it couldn't have been an easy journey. That's why it's a whole certificate. That's why it's a whole celebration at the end, at the completion of doing that work, because it means it was a struggle. It was steps, it was pathways. There were so many things in between to actually get you there. So when you do complete, we celebrate you. Shout out to Smart Fifth Fam, who's having a superhero graduate fiesta celebration this year, as we did last year. We celebrated Zachary last year. We're going to celebrate some more super special heroes June 27th, 2026 at the time of this recording in Brooklyn, New York. So if you know any special superheroes that are graduating, class of 2026 and class of 2025, I'm sneaking that 2025 in too, then definitely hit me up and let me know and we can celebrate them too. But if you're not here, then make sure that we still get the opportunity to celebrate them, whether they're here, not here, close by, not close by. Still celebrate. It's okay. All right? So that's a message for today. I'm going to go back to walking and showing you some beautiful sights as we get to see a different set of green trees in Brooklyn as I take a little duty-free break for myself to just walk. Walk around the school, make it part of my well-beingness as I also take a pause soon and get something in my stomach. I went and I bought my salad for lunch, so I'm going to go and eat it soon. Have a magical and amazing day. Take care.